Hi friends, it's Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. Today's video is going to be all about Crockpot and Instant Pot recipes, and it is part of a collab that is hosted by Claire from Easily Influenced Mama, and I will have a link in my description box down below to her channel, and I will also have a link to the playlist. So I would love if you would go check out that playlist, and you won't want to miss out on all the other lovely ladies' videos. So let's get started. The first thing I'm making is a crock-pot tomato basil chicken. To start off, in a small mixing bowl, I'm going to combine 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then I'm going to add some seasonings. I'm not really measuring. I'm just going to add some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, onion powder, some dried oregano, and basil, as well as Italian seasoning and some parsley. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in 3/4 cup of heavy cream, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together and make sure all the seasonings and the heavy cream are combined well. And to my crock pot, I went ahead and added in 3 chicken breasts. You can add about 3 to 4 of them. And we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes with the basil and oregano flavored. And you'll need some pasta sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add that can into the cream mixture. I'm also going to add in 3/4 cup of pasta sauce and just mix that all together. Now we're just going to go ahead and pour that mixture on top of the chicken. If your chicken isn't frozen, it'll be easier to obviously just mix that around and get it all coated in the sauce. For me, I'm just kind of like lifting my chicken a little bit to make sure some of that sauce gets on the underside of that. I cooked it on low for 6 hours. You can do 4 hours on high. This is what it looked like after, and I am just going to go ahead and kind of give that a stir to get that sauce remixed well. And I made some pasta. You can make whatever pasta you want. I just made some spaghetti, and I'm just serving that with the chicken, and I put some sauce on top. And I didn't show it because I kind of forgot, I added Parmesan cheese on top of that, and I served it with a side Caesar salad. This was super delicious. I really loved the flavor of this a lot. I kind of cut up my chicken, but I just did that as I was eating. This next meal is Instant Pot spicy chicken thighs and broccoli. I'm starting off with about 6 chicken thighs. Mine are skinless, but they have the bone in because it's all Aldi had left, and they're a little on the smaller side. I'm going to go ahead and marinate those, and I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of curry powder, some salt and pepper, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, 1 tablespoon of chili garlic sauce. If you don't have that, you can use 2 tablespoons of sriracha, then 2 tablespoons of honey, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. You can also use rice vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon or so of sesame oil, and some fresh garlic, about a tablespoon's worth. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together, get all that chicken coated, because we're going to go ahead and marinate that for about 6 hours. If you don't have time, of course, you can just do about a couple hours or an hour at the minimum. And when that was almost ready to go, I just made some Instant Pot brown rice. I added a little bit of butter and salt into that, and I'm cooking brown rice, so I'm cooking it for 24 minutes. And I'm cutting up some broccoli. You can use anywhere from 1 to 2 heads of broccoli. You're going to want to leave these on the bigger side, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut up onion. I don't know, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 of an onion into some pieces that are not too small. I want some kind of chunks, but you don't want them too large. And I placed those onions and broccoli into the bottom of my Instant Pot. And I'm just going to go ahead and place those marinated chicken thighs right on top of that. I will make a note now that this broccoli did turn out pretty soft with being with the chicken for so long. It did work out for me in the end, and I'll kind of explain that in a bit. But if you don't care for like broccoli that comes out that soft, I would just make that on the side. I'm adding a little bit of extra salt on top of that, and a 1/4 cup of water to my Instant Pot. And by the way, I am using a 6-quart Instant Pot for this. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and pressure cook that with my normal pressure cooker lid for 12 minutes. I let that naturally release for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it did make a lot of liquid in it. Then I added my air fryer lid to the top of that, and I'm gonna go ahead and broil that for about 4 minutes to get a little bit crispy on top. This is a step that doesn't need to happen, but I wanted to have those little bit crispy bits. And there is that all plated. The broccoli really absorbs the chili in this dish, so your chicken is very flavorful but not very spicy, but that broccoli actually is spicier than the chicken. Broccoli always seems to absorb things when I add it to dishes like that, and I'm just kind of showing you it on my plate that it was just fall apart tender and really, really delicious. Because of the broccoli being really soft, I did mix that with my rice, since brown rice is more of a grainy rice, and that gave me a better consistency that I was pleased with, because I am very sensitive to like things being too soft or mushy. I just cannot handle that. But this was a really delicious meal. This last crock pot recipe is a pecan pie. To my large mixing bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add in 4 eggs, and I'm going to just lightly beat those. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in 1/3 cup of melted butter that is salted butter, and 1 1/3 cup of light corn syrup. Now I'm adding in 1 cup of white sugar and 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, as well as 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that all together until there's no more like lumps. You want that to be smooth. In total, you're going to need 2 cups of pecans, but I made a mistake here and added both into this mixture right now. You're actually only supposed to add in 1 cup and then use 1 cup to like decorate the top of the pie. I did it this way, and actually probably do it this way again. It's just easy. It's just for us. I don't need it to be super pretty. So it was good enough. And you're just going to go ahead and stir those pecans into the mixture. And now you're supposed to line your crock pot with some parchment paper. I actually didn't have any left. I only had a liner, so I used that. And you're going to go ahead and place the pie crust into the bottom of your crock pot liner or your parchment paper. I would recommend parchment paper if I tried this again. I would definitely try to use parchment paper. And just go ahead and pour that mixture into your pie crust. Then you're going to go ahead and place some paper towels on top of your crock pot and place the lid over them, and you cook this on high for 3 to 3.5 hours. I did 3 hours, but I actually would have preferred the 3.5 hours. And the paper towels are to help like keep the moisture from falling back down into the pie. This was super delicious, but I do have to say that make sure that your pie crust doesn't have any cracks in it, so that the liquid stays within the pie crust, not going underneath it, because that will burn. I did have an issue with that in a spot where I had a crack in the crust. But this was super delicious, and I served it with some whipped cream on top. You can of course serve this with ice cream. I liked the little bit balance of the whipped cream, making it not as sweet as ice cream would be. And yeah, super delicious. Love how easy this would be. I love that you could make this at the holidays if your oven is being occupied with other food, and to me it was just as delicious. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell. Also, don't forget to check out that playlist with all the other lovely ladies, and I hope you all are having a great day.